And it's time for another basic beer review. And yes, as promised, I'm going to review the keg that I got. It was a keg of Spaten Oktoberfest. And for those of you who saw the, I think it was the last video I did that wasn't part of the Big Lager Championship, you'll know that I got another keg from the place I always get the kegs from, and got a free Spaten glass as part of the Perfect Draft offer for getting a keg of Spaten Oktoberfest. And I also got a Lowenbrau glass as well. I bought the Lowenbrau glass just because I couldn't choose between the two. But while I've got this beautiful Spaten tankard style beer glass, Stein beer glass, I'm going to move the table and I'm going to attempt to do a pour of this. Let's do it. Let's go this way. 45 degrees. Full pelt. Gonna have a little bit more head than we want, but it doesn't really matter. Flicked it up. Yeah, still not great at pouring the old Perfect Draft, but we'll leave that for a minute to settle as if it was a pint of Guinness. Yeah, not 100% sure. I don't know whether I'm doing it wrong. The 45 degrees. Any comments on how I pour it better down below? I know when it's first open, when it's a new keg, you tend to get more head. It tends to even itself out a bit as it gets lower. You tend to get much less and less of a head. The older the keg gets, or the longer the keg gets, the longer you have it, maybe the lower it, the less that you get in it. Let's put more. But yeah, all I'm doing now is getting loads and loads of froth. But there you go, that's not too bad. So we'll leave that there to settle. That's probably enough anyway to do a good review. I don't need a full pint anyway. So there we go. The Spaten Oktoberfest. What can I say about it? Can't remember how much the keg was. I think about 38 quid for the keg. And that's generally where they are everywhere, really. Which, you're getting sort of 12 500ml glasses for that price. So you're looking round about, £3. £3 something, £3.10, something like that, for a 500ml glass. Which, to be honest, for something like Spaten, something like Lowenbrau Oktoberfest, these kind of things, it's a really good price. That, because I say the bottles are costing you that really, and you're getting it draft. So there we go. Spaten getting a nice head there, getting nice bubbles up the glass. Lovely glass. Spaten Oktoberfest in a Spaten glass. I am absolutely waffling, and I don't care. I am in my element at the moment with the old Perfect Draft, with a new keg, with a glass of Spaten chilled to 3 degrees C, which is a little bit colder than I would enjoy a beer, even a lager, unless it's a really hot day. But, 3 degrees, a lager, you can still get a lot of flavour out of a lager at 3 degrees. And once it's been in the glass and the head's settled, it's not 3 degrees anymore, let's face it, but it is beautifully cold. So let's just let it settle a little bit more. Let's waffle a little bit more about it. Another shout out to 409 local. It's 409. We're talking about local at 410 in Ashton on Makerfield, which is where I'm getting these kegs from. And they've got so many German lagers there. It's crazy. If you live nearby, get down there. It's great. And what can I say? They've got loads of craft beers and stuff like that as well. They've got Belgian beers. They've got a lot. Let's get nosing. Yeah, so getting a bit of a nose on that at the moment, and I'm smelling malt. I'm smelling a little bit of honey. What else am I smelling? Getting some chill haze on the glass now, so that cold beer is really the coldness of the beer is really coming out to the outside of the glass now. Want to start drinking this before it goes too warm, although I don't think it will do. But yeah, beautiful. It smells like a Helles, really. It smells like a really malty Helles with a little bit of sort of syrup in there, a little bit, almost like honey rather than syrup. You're getting lemon in there. It's got a lovely grassiness. It's got a lovely balance of all the different flavours that I like in a lager. Yeah, it's smelling really good. Yeah, just getting all those things, getting all those kind of the maltiness, getting the brown bread, getting lemon, a little bit of orange. I didn't look what percent this was. Again, putting the keg in without checking the percent of the old Spaten Oktoberfest. But I'm guessing it's about 6%. I don't know. I'm not going to say because I honestly don't know. Might be a bit lower, maybe about 5.8. I don't know, but I think the Lowenbrau, it tends to be like the highest ABV in the Oktoberfests generally that I've noticed. So I'm thinking it's probably a bit below 6, probably about 5.8. But it is smelling like it's got a lot of flavour. Great aroma. Can't smell it any longer. Got to drink it. So here we go. Cheers. That's so crisp. That's so clean. Lovely maltiness. Got to go in again. It's nice and bitter. It's got a nice bit of bitterness to it. It's very crisp, very refreshing. It's got a lot of taste to it as well. The one I did in the video that will come before this one, I did that. What was it called now? I can't remember now. It was the Greif Volbeer Hell, and I said that tasted a little bit watery. Drinking the rest of it later, I was getting a bit more of the flavours. It wasn't quite as watery, but it wasn't anywhere near as full bodied as this. It's really giving me something in the middle there. It's giving that nice maltiness, getting some brown bread. Lovely and dry. It's not a sweet beer, I wouldn't say. It's got a nice bitterness, dries your mouth out. Getting a bit of it. Just waiting for the aftertaste there. Getting the aftertaste. Getting a nice bit of shortbread biscuit aftertaste, which people will know that I love. It's definitely tier 4 or tier 5. Which one is it though? That is the question. I don't know. I'll whack up the tier chart for everybody just to see. Here's the tier chart for people to see what the difference between tier 4 and tier 5 are. Tier 4, as you can see, with like things like the Ayinger Hell in there. Tier 4 is absolute top tier lager, really. Tier 5 is basically just the best, really. If I would consider it the best, then we're talking tier 5. So, what is this? Is this going to be 4 or 5? I don't know. I don't want 5 to get too full. I think 5's got what? It's got the Tegernsee in there, and it's got the Edelstoff and the normal Augustine. It might have the Tegernsee Special, might be in there. Is this knocking my socks off the same way that they did? I don't know. Is there a possibility that one of them may get downgraded? It's possible. I don't know though. They are very good. Is this up there with them? I think it is. I mean, this is not going to join anyone in tier 5 or join anyone in tier 4. We're just looking at a general gauge as to how good this lager is. It could give the Augustiner, both the Augustinas, a run for their money. I think it's very nice. I'm preferring it to the Lowenbrau Oktoberfest. I think the Lowenbrau Oktoberfest possibly was a little bit sweet. Wouldn't last you. You'd probably after a couple of them, you'd feel a bit sick of it. This one is drier. It's a bit more bitter. It's got more staying power, I think. I have been quite strict with the lagers that I've been drinking. I was very strict with that Greif, which I thought was decent, but wasn't amazing. I think I put it in tier 2, which seems a bit low, but again, tier 2 is decent. Tier 2 is good. I think Benedictiner Hell's in tier 2. Benedictiner Hell is an incredibly good lager. Do you remember the tier chart is for top level lagers? To even get in the tier chart, you have to be pretty decent. Tier 1 is any lager that is better than average. So that's pretty much where it starts. Tier 1 is a lager that's better than average. So that Greif was way better than average. Puts it in tier 2. Tier 3 is just winnable, a winner. It's just one that could win a championship, depending on what it's up against. Tier 4 is absolute top tier lager. virtually unbeatable, and tier 5 is just reserved for anything that's up there with the Augustiner Edelstoff, which at the moment I still think is the best lager out there. Augustiner Edelstoff I just think is the best. If I have to pick one beer that I think is the best lager that you can buy, I'm going Augustiner Edelstoff. But this one, you know what? It's got a lot of quite a little bit of bitterness, a bit more bitterness than I like, which is putting me off it slightly, but that's not a bad thing about the beer. Some people like more bitterness. If you like a bit more bitterness, this has got a bit more bitterness. I think the regular Spaten might have done tier 3, possibly tier 4. I'm going to put this one in, just sneaking into tier 5, I think. I think anything that could give the Edelstoff a run, the Augustiner Hell a run for its money would be up there. This is lovely. I'm really, really enjoying it. And it's a bit colder than I would normally get most of the flavours out of a lager. I'm still getting quite a lot of flavours, as you can see. Come on, let's get some more in. Oh, let's get some. Come on, while we're doing it, we might as well do it proper. Let's get some more in. There we go. Let's get a bit more. Not getting a lot more in, but let's get some more in. And then we can just live with this beer for a little bit longer. Yeah, so is this me trying to justify tier 5 for this beer? I shouldn't have to justify it, really. I mean, it's all about personal preference. I think that bitterness and that lovely dry bite it's got will stop it being sickly after a few, and that's a real positive for me, because nothing worse than, you know, you're on the lagers, you want to make a day of it or whatever, and then basically you get to a point and it's just making you feel a bit sick. But you drink it anyway because, you know, you're on it, essentially. This would be nice. It's just still crisp, it's dry, it's got a nice bit of bitterness. And I think if you've got a really hot day, you're in the garden, you want to have some lagers, you want to really have a good go at the perfect draft, let's face it. You could do this. You could almost session it, really. You could almost session this beer. I still don't know what the ABV is on it, and it'd be interesting to see when I do find out what the ABV on it is. But it's got to be in the high 5s at least. But a very sessionable lager for that. Very sessionable lager indeed. For that reason, it's got the flavour, it's got the bite, it's clean, it's crisp, there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever, and it's sessionable. It is sessionable as well. It's tier 5. It is tier 5. It is tier 5, and it's absolutely. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. So there we go. Spaten. Yeah, what can I say? Spaten Oktoberfest. Tier 5. Till next time. Have a good one.